Hello everyone, welcome back to episode number 3. In our first episode, we built our trailer, our Harbor Freight 5x10 modular trailer, and we have a playlist link in the description below. If you want to go back and watch that video, we show you the full assembly. In the second episode, we built our floor, our framing for our floor. We sheathed it, and then we put our vinyl flooring, we glued it down. We did leave a strip all the way around bare wood where we're going to glue our framing down. Today, in episode 3, we're going to frame our walls and our ceiling. We're also measuring all of our openings, or making measurements for all of our openings that are going to be on the walls and ceiling of the camper. And what we have are our door, our entry door, which also is a window as well. We bought one that has a smoked glass window, and it also opens and closes as well. So you can open that door. So it serves both purposes, and that's why we picked this one, because we only have a window and a door. We're going to mount the door on the driver's side, on this side, kind of a third of the way down, just in front of the fender, and roughly this area here. And then we're going to mount the window on the opposite side, and it's going to be more or less above the fender, about halfway down roughly. So this is going to go on that side, this is going to go in this area here. We also have a ceiling exhaust fan here. We need to measure it for the opening. It's going to go in the roof area. I plan to put solar panels in, so but I want it accessible and I want it in a good location, so I'm probably going to put it more or less center. And then my panels, I'm planning to put at least 2 panels. One will go on either side of the ceiling exhaust fan. And then we have our air conditioning unit that's going to be mounted in the front wall this way. Okay, so we took our toolbox. This is going to be our tongue box. It's just a toolbox. It's a 48-inch long toolbox that we got off of Amazon. And by the way, all the products we're using for our camper, we have a link in the video description. If you're interested in buying any of these products, including this toolbox, there's a link in the video description to our website, a page of all the products that we've purchased for this build. This is roughly where we're going to end up mounting it. I don't want it all the way up against the trailer. I want some space between the trailer and it, so I'm going to leave roughly about 4 inches. That's right about 4 inches there. The camper is actually going to be a little bit bigger because I'm going to have some plywood, half-inch plywood on the outside here that's going to hang over. So my main concern here is having enough clearance for the air conditioning that is, I believe, 15 inches tall. Sorry, 12 inches tall. 12 inches tall, but I do want some clearance between the bottom of the AC, because it's going to be sticking out some, and this door. We just need to get a measurement from the floor to the top of the door, and it doesn't have to be exact. It's looking around 22 inches, a little bit less than 22, but it's probably about 22 and a half, but I want some clearance. So the bottom of my opening cannot be any more than 22 inches from the floor, and that'll give us clearance. Okay, so we went through our entire stack of 2x2s and found the 4 straightest ones These two are fairly straight, and I'll use for my last little section, my little 2 foot 3 inch section. These four are going to be the bottom and the top of the side walls. They're all four of them are exactly 8 feet. So what we're going to do is we are going to mark these 16 inches on center. I'm going to go ahead and just mark it all the way down, and then we're going to come back and we're going to mark where we need our framing for the door and windows.
This tunnel's dark, full, drunk and sloppiness. 4 a.m. stumbling, missing time, mumbling, sketchy half-truths, sick and tired.
Okay, so we are at our saw. We've already marked off our top and bottom pieces, and now we're cutting our vertical studs. And I cut the first one. This one is 45 inches and 1/8. That will, when I put it in between the two 2x2s, it's going to make it exactly 48 inches, maybe just a hair above that, allowing a little bit of room so that when I put my interior paneling in, I'll have a little bit of a play there. I can get it inside and against the wall. So I got this set up on the stop, and this first piece came out perfect, so I'm going to continue cutting. I need 16 of these.
I'm at the mercy of your wishes. They've overturned all my grace. Where's my light at the end of the tunnel? Where's my light at the end of the tunnel? Where's my light at the end of the tunnel?
All right, so we got all those cut, and we're going to get ready. We're going to start drilling our horizontal pieces. We're going to go ahead and drill those. go ahead and get some glue on this one. Yeah, to be honest, I probably could have just butted this one up against this one and just made it a lot stronger. I should have done that, but I didn't. We could actually go ahead and do this one. Do it now. It's not going to move much. Nowhere for it to move, really. Beautiful. More glue. So I'll make sure we got this lined up properly.
Saskatchewan, down a winding country road. All the quiet that you'd want is there to get to know. Church bells and waving wheat and snow geese fill the air. But there's a darkness underneath the small town's honest prayer. Carrie Ann was born there. She was an orphaned only child. Her forest eyes and auburn hair would radiate for miles. They said that she was only 12 when her innocence was robbed. She hitched a ride to Edmonton with a trucker named Crowbar. Sometimes the danger of escape outweighs the hell of the secrets that estrange you, though you've learned to hide them well. She said, I've only come to leave. Leaving's what I do. 'Cause when you got no place to be, you just sort of passing through. So tonight I'll ride through the ice and snow to hide from the memories that haunt me and the shimmering divide of the skeletons that lie on this golden countryside. In the oil rigs where the money flows like blood, there's a void that's wide and deep. It's more felt than understood. It's hard partying most nights and hiding through the days. You get hardened when you fight the urge to break away. everywhere is different, and everywhere's the same. When you're just a dirty secret in a cheating man's game. I've only come to leaving's what I do. 'Cause when you got no place to be, you're just sort of passing through. So tonight I'll ride through these empty cattle fields with this scratchy AM radio and the drone of spinning wheels, with Satan at my heels and only half a soul to steal.
Putting glue on and get going here, building our other side. Now, we've drilled these before, but I'm re-drilling them so that the screws don't split wood. Using 2.5-inch screws here. Perfect. Keep going. Hard to do that left-handed when I'm right-handed. This board is pretty straight, actually. I tried to pick the straighter ones that I had. Oh boy. Gosh, broke off another drill bit. Yeah, that wasn't good. Ah. So hard to do this left-handed. Okay. Doing it left-handed is a lot of fun, but we're making it work. A lot of repetitive stuff here. Once you get all your cuts made, it's just doing the same thing over and over and over again. There we go. Gonna move over to the other side, and then I can start drilling right-handed. I'm very much looking forward to that. Very much. Okay. All right, we're going to cut our 13.5 inch, just a hair under, actually, 13.5 inch pieces. See how close I got it. Well, that's nothing but knot there. But I'll have a hard time screwing into that. I don't know if I'll use that or not. Or not. Have to pre-drill it really good. That's just a recipe for disaster. Put glue on both ends. we're ready to stand our wall up, and we're going to screw it down. We're going to screw through the top of it and screw it down to the floor. Before we do that, I'm going to run a bead of glue all the way down the side here. And I don't want to go any further than I have to, so. Sorry if I'm blocking the camera here. We're just running this bead of glue all the way down. So we're going to stand up the wall. And I want to make sure I get it straight front to back. Get it around about close to where it should be. Okay, it looks pretty good in the back. I'm going to get this first screw in because I feel good where I'm at back here. Just so I got something helping me hold it in place. All right, good. And we'll work our way down. Just making sure it's straight. It looks pretty good where it's sitting. I haven't trimmed the bottom plywood yet. Not all the way around anyways.
Sometimes the waves, they keep on crashing in. Sometimes the rain, it never seems to end. I'll be alright, my friend, if you stay by my side. Sometimes our worries get the best of us. Sometimes the hardest we try is not enough. All will be well as long as you stay by my side. You help me take this weight off my shoulders. Always run my way when I call you. You're the anchor I'm holding tight on to. You are my home away from home. The sun will shine. Some days I pray for just a ray of light. Come take my hand and tell me you'll stay by my side. Some days I feel like I'm against the wall. Some days I feel I'm barely holding on. All will be well as long as you stay by my side. Take this weight off my shoulders. Always run my way when I call you. You're the anchor I'm holding tight on to. You are my home away from home. off my shoulders. Always run my way when I call you. You're the anchor I'm holding tight on to. You help me find my way when I'm searching, brighten up my day when I'm hurting. You're the anchor I'm holding tight on to. You are my home away from home, home away from home, home away from home.
Well, we have both of our sidewalls up, our main part of our sidewalls. We worked a little bit just messing around with the angle for the front of our camper, and this works out to be about 20 degrees. I think we're going to go with this because it gives me the height I need here. I know it's not a very steep angle, but it's just enough to help with the aerodynamics. And this part is probably about as high as my truck is anyways, but this would help a little bit. I really don't want a sharp angle here in the front, but I think I'm going to stick with a 20-degree angle here. I just got to figure out all the framing here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build my frame for my back and my back door where my kitchen area is going, and I'm going to build the frame for the ceiling part of this section, because I really need that in place before I can build off of here. Everything up here is going to be angled, and I'm going to have to miter all of it, at least the top and the post, so that I get this correct angle. And in order to do that, I'm going to come off of the top of the ceiling or the roof up here. So I'm going to be doubling this up here, and I did that on purpose because I want enough material up here that I can nail into for my trim and my paneling. And I'm going to be doing the same thing in the back. I'm going to double up that as well on the top and bottom, all the way around the door. Actually, I'm going to make it really beefy and strong. So I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to work on the back. That's going to be our next step. We're going to get the back done. We're going to get the ceiling done up here, and then we're going to start working on the front and try to get the front framed in. We ended up marking off all the rest of our pieces, so we're going to go ahead and cut the remaining pieces. And that vertical we cut was exactly the right length, so we used it as a guide to mark our other ones. What I need to do right now is I need to put glue. I'm going to glue all of this edge, and the bottom. Not getting too crazy with it because I don't want it squirting everywhere. Wasn't going to do this piece next, but I decided to go ahead and do it. For one, it'll wrap up the back of the camper, and for two, it'll sturdy everything up, it'll strengthen everything, and I can move on to my roof. I'm going to save the front for last because there's a lot of complicated angles and stuff going on up there, and it's not going to be as simple as just cutting stuff like I have been and screwing it together. This is centered, so it doesn't matter which direction I put this, and hopefully it fits in without too much trouble. And these are all 16 on center. And of course, we're going to be doubling up like we did before with two 2x2s at our seams. One. Definitely got to get some drill bits. I think once I finish this top, I'm going to quit for the day. Get a good night's sleep and come back and tackle this front section and be done with the framing. I want to be completely finished with the framing so I can kind of contemplate my next step. see if we can do this without knocking the camera over or making a disaster. There we go. I'm going to get my four corners tied in because that's what's going to matter. And everything else should kind of fall in place.